Hello friends, welcome to the Node.js tutorial of my channel. Let's learn. So here today we are going to discuss how we can deploy our previously created Node.js API to AWS EC2 instance. So for deploying it to the EC2 instances, AWS EC2 instance, we should have some prerequisites that needs to be fulfilled. So these are the prerequisites. So first one is we should have a free trial AWS account. Then we have to create one Node.js API and we will have to commit it into the GitHub, so that from GitHub we will clone it into the EC2 instances and we can deploy it. So these two are the prerequisites, and the next one is we should create one EC2 instance, and this EC2 instance basically should be the T2 micro, because T2 micro is free, and if we are taking anything else then we'll have to pay. So let's first create one EC2 instance on AWS. Okay, so here this is my login of AWS, and here I am going to create one EC2 instance. So for this, first I will have to create the EC2 service, and then it is loading. So yeah, here we are able to see that we don't have any previously created EC2 instance. So let's launch an instance, and we can do this by here. So here we can give any name, for example test test EC2, and then application. So here let's select ubuntu, and under ubuntu this is free tier eligible, so we will select this one only. And what is the instance type? So yeah, T3 micro is also free tier eligible. We can take this T3 micro. Under T3 micro we are getting T3 to CPU, 1 GB memory, and these are the configurations we are getting. And then key pair, we should create one RSA, and then this is the PM. So let's keep it. Okay, we should give some name. So cheat test EC2 key. Okay, create pair. Okay, so it got downloaded, and we should keep it, and we should not share it with anybody else. Okay, now let's create a security group. Allow SSH traffic, allow HTTPS traffic from the internet, and allow HTTP traffic from the internet. So yeah, we are allowing all these traffic. Actually here it should be some restrictions, but yeah, for now our testing purpose we are allowing all this traffic. Yeah, so that's all the details I have filled, and I'm not going to the advanced details, and then I'm launching the instance. So now it is creating the security group rules, and then it is launching the instantiations. So successfully instantiated. Now let's go to our EC2 instance. So this EC2 instance, it has created instance state is running, T2 micro, and here monitoring is disabled, and this is my key name, launch time. Okay, so these are all the things available. Now let's go to its detail little bit. So this is the public IP. This public IP is basically used to access this EC2 instance. Basically we haven't associated the elastic IP here, because the elastic IP is paid. If you are creating the elastic IP and you are not using it, then you will have to pay. So that's why I have not created the elastic IP. But yeah, the benefit you will get from the elastic IP, that that IP address will not change. It will same IP address will always remain associated with your EC2 instances. But here this public IP is not stable. Once you will restart your EC2 instance, then this public IP will change. So whatever you have deployed and whatever application you have associated with this IP address, then in all those configuration you will have to do the changes if you are restarting your EC2 instances. So that is the problem problem in using this kind of public IP. But yes, as we don't want to pay, so we are using it. Okay. Now these are the IAM role, not needed. Okay, fine. So these are all created now. Okay, now let's start process of deploying our code to the EC2 instance. So this EC2 instance is created. Now let's click on the connect, and here we can access our EC2 instance by several ways. Here it has mentioned, as I'm currently working on the Windows machine, so I'm going to use this EC2 instance connect. So here I'm clicking on the connect. Okay, now connection has been established with my EC2 instance. So up to here, let's see, up to where we have done the work. So we have created our EC2 instance, we are able to connect to the EC2 instance. Now let's trigger this command to update our instance. So let's copy this sudo apt-update, and let's paste it here and trigger it. So invalid operation update. Good. Okay, sorry, it was a spelling mistake. Now it is update, so it will start. So here it is updating the environment. Okay, our environment is updated. Now next is install the Node.js version 18. Okay, so for this we will have to run this command. So apt install Node.js. Okay, do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. So it is installing the Node.js. Okay, Node.js is installed. Now let's verify node -v. Okay, version 18 is installed. npm -v. Command npm is not installed, so let install it also. Sudo apt install npm. So it is installing npm. Okay, now npm is installed. Let's verify it. npm -v. Yeah, so 920 version is installed. So up to here we are done. Now let's verify if git is already there. So for that, git minus, what was that, git minus version. So here, yes, git is already there. So for that, let's clone our repository here, git clone. So this instance, so this one API I had created and I have committed it to my GitHub account, and now I'm taking it and going to clone it in my EC2 instance here. Paste. Okay, yes, so it has cloned. Now next is so up to here we are done. Now go inside to the project folder. Okay, let's go to the project folder, that is ls, what is here, this is my project folder, so cd youtube code 2, I'm inside my project folder. Then it is saying me to trigger npm install command so that it can create the node modules folder. So I am triggering this command npm install, and then it is reading the package.json file, and from there it is installing all the packages. So all the packages are installed, and now let's verify this by using ls command to see whether node module has been created or not. ls, so if we see here, node modules has been created, so our packages are created there. So now we are done till here. Okay, so now let's install the PM2. PM2 is basically the process manager that basically manages the start or restart of your application. So it's basically help in restarting of your application automatically. So it's very useful basically in real time applications. Generally our applications runs over the PM2. PM2 is basically manages our application. So for that let's install it. Sudo npm install, sudo npm install. At global level we should do this -g pm2. Okay, so this one is done. Then go to the project folder. Okay, and PM2 start app.js. Okay, so now here we are inside the project folder. Let's trigger this PM2 start, PM2 start, and our entry point of our application is app.js. so it will start our application, and so here if you see our application is running. Okay, and we can verify the logs also. PM2 logs, so it is giving the logs, and as per it our application is running on the port 3002. Okay, and there are some other commands also of the PM2 to restart our application, or to restart few other application also if all are present. So till here our configuration is done. So let's once verify if our application is running or not. So for that what we can do, let's come here and let's type http, and then what is there, IP colon port. IP address was what was the IP address? IP address was, so that public IP I'm looking for. So that public IP from networking tab we can easily find it. Public IP address is this one. Let's copy this. Even the same public IP we will find it here also. Okay, so this is our public IP, control V, and then our port number of the application. So we had just seen that our application is running on this port. Okay, and then route name. So let's run it. So it seems like there is some problem. Let's see the logs. What is the what log is saying? CPM2 logs. What it is saying here? It is not saying anything. Okay, do we have that route? Do we have the blank route? Yes, we are having the blank route. It should give. So even after that it is not giving the data. That means there might be some problem in the security group. So let's see what is there in the security group. So for that we will have to go to the security. Under security there should be a security group. This is the security group. Let's go inside this security group, and under this security group, what are the policies? So these are the policies. Let's edit these policies. And here if we see the inbound rules, then we are allowing only these ports 80, 22 and 443. But if you remember, we are using the port that is 3002, so that's why it's not allowing the traffic. Now let's add one more rule. Here we are adding the custom TCP, and here we will use our port that is 3002, and where we will allow the traffic from anywhere. And let's save it, save the rule, let it complete. Okay, this is done, and now let's try it. So yes, now you are able to see that we are running our application in EC2 instances. So now it's not running in our localhost, it's running in this IP address. We can give some more address, some more route, like what is the next route we are having? Next route we are having like users. So let's see what user is saying. So user, if we are putting, so yeah, so this is giving the information, and it is running directly in the EC2 instances. Now it's not running in our localhost. So till here we have completed our steps till here. Okay, so now let's try to install the Nginx server. So currently we are running our application on the process manager, but and it's running our server own, but it's basically not good idea. We should run our application on a particular server. So here I am going to use Nginx. Along with the Nginx, there are multiple servers, and any one of which can be used, but Nginx is widely used, so I'm going to use as a Nginx. So there are very much advantages of using the Nginx. For example, it provides the caching, it provides the reverse proxy, it allows you to run the multiple services. For example, one service is running on port 3000, another service is running on port 3001, another is 3002. So multiple services we can run on a single server, that is the Nginx. And along with this, it provides the authentication, authorizations, so several benefits it provides. We can write the multiple configurations and security related things here in the Nginx, and that's we can offload the load from our code from our Node.js API to this Nginx. So now let's install the Nginx. To install the Nginx, let's run this command sudo apt install Nginx. Okay, so here let's come out of this, and then we will install sudo apt install Nginx. Okay, do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. Okay, so Nginx server is installed. Now what to do next? So then we will have to go to this folder. Okay, so let's see where this is situated. Okay, so if we are seeing ls, and let's come out of this, so cd this. Okay, ls, so here we are inside let's come out of this also, and here then we are at home. ls, again we are not getting here, so cd dot and then ls. So here if you see we are getting the etc folder. So let's go to the etc folder and we should get Nginx there, ct etc. Okay, now ls, if we see here, then we should get Nginx. So if you see here, we are having the Nginx. So let's go to the Nginx and then sites available, ct Nginx, and if we see here the folder, then we are getting here the folder sites available. So under site available folder, basically we can there is a file, and in that file we can write some configurations. So let's go inside this sites available, and this cd sites available, and then here ls, if you see, then there is one file that is named as the default. So we will have to write this default, we will have to change this default, where we will have to add these configurations. Okay, so first let's open this in the edit mode. So for opening it in the edit mode, we should use sudo vim. So sudo vim and then default. Okay, so it has opened, and if we see here, so these are the configurations there, and we will have to change a bit here. So first, server name is, what is our server name? So under server name, we will have to give our IP address. So our IP address is, this is security group. Let's go to the EC2 instance. Let's go to the instances. This is the instances, and here let's go to the our IP address, which IP we are using. So this is the public IP. Copy this public IP and come to here, and server name, so server name is equal to, this is the server name, and then under location slash, so location is slash, and here we need to paste these things. Okay, so we need to paste all these things. Let's copy it, let's come here, and then what we need to do, let's remove these things. Okay, and then paste here, and instead of 3001 we need to use 3002. Okay, so that's all, I think. Yeah, now press Ctrl C and then colon WQ to write and quit. So let's press Ctrl C, and then colon WQ this, right? Okay, so this is done. Now we have to check the Nginx configs. Let's check whether Nginx is properly installed or not. So for that, sudo Nginx -t, am I right? Yeah. Okay, so Nginx configuration test is successful. So this is saying that test is successful. That means our Nginx is properly deployed. And if we want to, suppose if we are doing any change in the configurations here in the default file, then we will have to restart our Nginx, and this can be restarted by using sudo Nginx -s reload. Okay, and if we want to stop Nginx, we should stop it by this, and again we can start it by this way. Okay, So let's once run it. Okay, now let's again see what our application is doing. So if we are running it, it is giving me the data. Okay, now what I'm doing, that I'm removing this one port and then I'm running. So now you can see that it is even running with this. It is even running with this. It is not, now it's not need, it is not needing the port number, that is 3002, because the Nginx by default runs on 80, and we do not need to provide that port here. It's default port. And why security group is not stopping it? Because if we see in the security group here, if we see in the security group, where is the networking tab here? If we come here and if we go here, and then if we go to the edit environment rule, then we can see that by default we are allowing this 80. So that's how it is, Nginx is running here. So if we give it here or another route, that is the users, then also it is giving. Okay, and similarly if we provide the port number, then also it is giving the data. Okay, so it is giving the data. Now let's what we do. So as we have seen that this port is not required, 3002 port is not required, so let's delete it. And after deleting it, let's save the rules. And after saving it, let's come to here and let's reload it. Okay, once we reload it, okay, then come to here, here, and then if we run it, it should not work because we have removed this port from the security group, and now security group is not allowing our request. It is not allowing, and that's why it's not giving the data. So now if we remove this port from here, so it will run on 80 port, and 80 port is allowed in the security group, so it should give the data. So if you see here, it's giving us the data. If we remove, then it will give some other data. So that's how we can. So here we have covered all the steps that is mentioned here, prerequisites steps we have mentioned here, and I will give all these steps in the description section of this video. And that's how we can configure our application into the EC2 instance, and it can run. So basically just I want to mention one thing, that here on EC2 instance we have directly taken it from our GitHub by cloning it, but there are some other way also. We can create the Jenkins pipeline, or we can create AWS code commit pipelines, and from there also that pipeline we can connect with our GitHub, and it will take data from, it will take our code from the GitHub and it will deploy to the EC2 instance. So that flow also we can do. So this is a very simple flow that I wanted to explain here. And one request from my viewer, that try to practice this at home on the free trial version, and once you are done with these things, then please don't forget to delete the EC2 instances, otherwise it will incur some cost. That's all I'm having today to share with my viewers. So it's humble request with my viewers to please do subscribe to my channel, and please do like my video and share it with all of your friends or colleagues who are interested in learning the Node.js, and who are interested in learning how to deploy the Node.js to the EC2 instances. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching.